Today, yes, this show is called LeBron James, the most hated on athlete of all time. And that's how I feel. I felt this way for many, many, many years. For over a decade, I felt this way, that LeBron is the most hated on athlete ever. And then there was a moment in time when I stopped to ask myself, should I put in there the most hated on athlete in the modern era? Should I say that? Is it crazy for me to say the most hated on athlete of all time? Because of course we had a lot of black athletes back in the day when there was segregation, and we had black athletes like Jackie Robinson break the color barrier and face severe racism and hatred and all that, right? So, so then I would say to myself, maybe I should say LeBron James is the most hated on athlete of the modern era. I'm not talking about the Jackie Robinson, the early black ball players in the Major League Baseball, in the NBA, the black ball players in the NBA who most people do not know of. Everyone knows Jackie Robinson and the black ball players in Major League Baseball, but people could not tell you who the first black players were in the NBA, because when the NBA first began in the 1946-47 season, there were no black ball players, okay? Now, but then I thought, you know what? Well, when Jackie Robinson and all the black ball players were doing what they were doing, they were facing racism and racist fans, but the black community, they all stuck by Jackie. They all rooted for Jackie Robinson. The black America all rooted for Jackie, and all the black ball players who came after him, who carried the torch, right? They were beloved by all of black America. So even though they were facing racism from a lot of white people, black America all loved Jackie Robinson. Well, you know what? With LeBron James, half of black America hates on LeBron James, hates on him, all right? Which is sad, okay? And yeah, so my show today is LeBron James, the most hated on athlete of all time. Now, there's a lot to talk about, and like I said, I felt this way for a very long time. And first of all, I've covered LeBron for a long time, all right? So he's been in the league now 22 years. So I started covering NBA games, and about LeBron James, the first game I covered was LeBron James' third season in the NBA, okay? So this is now, like I said, year 22 for LeBron, and I've had the fortune to be able to meet LeBron on several occasions, and the same with Stephen A. Smith, who LeBron and Stephen A. Smith got into it the other night after a Knicks-Lakers game, and I'm going to play something for you all in a minute that I want you all to hear, because this Stephen A., someone who said, like, he actually says, because Stephen A. is a big guy, he actually just got a $100 million contract from ESPN for 5 years. Like, pretty much the same day that the news came out, that Stephen A. signed a new 5-year, $100 million contract. That same day, that night, the Knicks and Lakers played, and LeBron James rolled up on Stephen A. And big news in the sports media, in the sports world, big news. And Stephen A. is somebody who I've had the fortune of meeting several times, okay? So both of these guys. And everyone knows, that I think LeBron James is the greatest player of all time. And I think if you look at it by any objective measures, to me, it is no question that LeBron James is the greatest player of all time. But I'm not even here to debate that today. But the man has just received so much hate over the years, and the biggest reason why LeBron James has received so much hate over the years is because of Michael Jordan fans, all right? That's the biggest reason why. And is interesting because Kobe Bryant fans hated on LeBron James too for years, okay? And I wrote a piece about this, okay? Let me tell y'all, in October of 2020, when LeBron James was on his way to leading the Lakers to a championship, right? This is the 2020 season, 2020 year. We all know what 2020 was, okay? And I pitched a piece to Slam Magazine. I wrote a piece, okay? And then I tried to sell it to Slam Magazine, right? And the piece was about how LeBron James was on the verge of leading the Lakers to a championship, and how Laker fans had to come to grips with the fact that this was happening, and they had to reconcile the fact that, okay, we've hated on LeBron James for so many years. Like, you know, how is it for them to have to root for LeBron James, and for so long they rooted against him and hated on him? And Kobe Bryant fans, right, Laker fans, all right, Kobe Bryant fans and Michael Jordan fans are similar. A lot of Michael Jordan fans love Kobe Bryant and vice versa for some reason. But when it came to LeBron James, these two fan bases just hated on LeBron and wanted LeBron to fail, all right? So with Laker fans now, you have, when LeBron came in the league, you know, at a young age, in 2003, he was someone who got a lot of hype coming in, and he lived up to it and all that, but it was somebody who Jordan fans were always threatened by the fact that LeBron James was a threat to Jordan's greatness and legacy. And Jordan fans, from a very early time in LeBron's career, just wanted to hate on LeBron and wanted to see him lose, wanted to tear him down because they were threatened by his greatness in terms to, you know, in relation to Michael Jordan. And Kobe Bryant is someone who was in the era of LeBron. Kobe had been in the league several years before LeBron had come in the league. Kobe had won 3 championships with Shaq before LeBron had already come in the league. And so it was supposed to be Kobe's league. He's the one who so many people looked at like he reminds them of Jordan. And like I said, you had a lot of Jordan fans who, you know, like Kobe, and the Kobe fans like Jordan. And so now the Lakers in 2020, all right, the reckoning for Laker fans of having to deal with LeBron now about to lead their team to a championship, and how they felt about it, right? Because for years, so Kobe fans are Laker fans, okay? So now you have Laker fans who hated on LeBron for so many years, and then when LeBron was early in his career with the Cleveland Cavaliers, and Kobe Bryant was still very much in his prime, and those Laker teams that Kobe was on, once Shaq left, all right, we're talking about 2007, 8, 9, 10, like those years for Kobe when Shaq was gone, and LeBron was very young in his career and dominating already. There was a potential matchup in the NBA Finals that so many people wanted to see, and, you know, Laker fans, you know, just always, you know, tearing LeBron down from that point, and you kind of just think, like, who's better, LeBron or Kobe at that time, right? 2007, 8, 9, 10, what have you. Yes, and so Laker fans always hated on LeBron, and Jordan fans. And then, so anyway, in 2020, I wrote a piece when LeBron was on the verge of leading the Lakers to a championship, how Laker fans had to reckon with the fact that LeBron was on the verge of leading their team to a championship, and they had hated on him for so many years. right? Because this is something that I always saw. So I interviewed Laker fans, and Laker fans told me straight up, yes, that they hated on LeBron James for many years, and a large part of it had to do with Kobe Bryant, okay? Because they were Kobe fans, so they hated on LeBron for every reason that I just told you all, okay? They were threatened by LeBron's greatness, okay? And a lot of them told me that they had, mixed feelings about LeBron about to lead them to a championship. Like they said, yes, everything you're saying is correct. I've had many Lakers fans tell me this. So anyway, I wrote a piece about this, and I pitched it to Slam magazine, and the editor told me the piece is too negative, so they didn't want to publish it. Said the piece was too negative, but like this is the truth. This is the truth, okay? Laker fans hated on LeBron James for years. Then he goes to the team and saves them because, let's not forget, when LeBron got to the Lakers in 2018, they had been bad for several years. And several of those years included when Kobe Bryant was on the Lakers at the end of Kobe Bryant's career. You see, when Kobe Bryant was LeBron's age, well, for one, at age 40, Kobe was already retired because he was broken down and not great enough to do what LeBron's doing now. But even before age 40, Kobe's latter years with the Lakers, he and the team were not good at all. They were a losing team, all right, for a long time. LeBron came in and saved them. So now LeBron, and year number 2, is now about to lead the Lakers to a championship where before he got there, they were as bad as any team in the league, and no one wanted to even play for them because players don't like playing for bad teams. But LeBron is so great, he knew any team I go to is going to be great, okay? So he went to a team in the Lakers that were terrible, and by year 2, he's on the verge of leading them to a championship. And so Laker fans were telling me, yeah, like they hated on this guy for a long time, and they had mixed feelings about him leading them to a championship. And I always noticed how Laker fans, like even now, a lot of them, like whenever anything would go wrong, all right, with the team in a game or whatever, they always blame LeBron, rip LeBron because half of them don't like him, okay? Because, they were Kobe fans and, all this, right? So LeBron James got into this whole big thing, this whole big tiff with Stephen A. Smith a few days ago. And I just wanted to play some audio really quickly. And Stephen A. is someone who is a Michael Jordan fan and will tell you that no matter what LeBron James does the rest of his career, he said this, there's nothing nothing he could do. Michael Jordan, in his mind, would be the best player ever, right? So, and like I said, I'm not here to talk about who's better at LeBron or Jordan, but I'm just here to say, like, that's clearly a biased opinion, right? So there's somebody that I'm just saying that LeBron, the biggest reason why he's the most hated on athlete ever is because of the Jordan fans, and Stephen A. is one of them. But, really quickly with LeBron, he's somebody who has lived an exemplary life, public life. He's never embarrassed anyone. He's never embarrassed his family, his wife, his kids. He's never been caught up, in any kind of police mugshot or anything, all right? And even furthermore, he's always tried to lead for his people, to lead for black people, all right, which is something that is well publicized that Michael Jordan wanted no part of when he was playing. No part of, okay? And anything that Michael Jordan is doing right now in terms of giving back and just being, not just necessarily giving back, but because a lot of these guys give back, they have a lot of money and they should be giving back, but, putting themselves out there publicly and speaking on certain things socially that affect people from where they came from, and the places from where they came from. And any adult, all of us, we are socially aware, and we follow what's going on the news. So when you have, all right, great, so LeBron is someone who he knows his position in life and how many people follow him and love him and respect him. So he has tried to lead, and even the older he's gotten, tried to speak out and speak up on certain social issues that pertain to his people that are important. So props to him on that, okay? And he's tried. Like, these basketball players are very young. He came in the league at 18 years old. And I've seen him do things at 18 years old that I've never seen anybody at 18 years old do in the NBA. And I've seen him now, 40 years old, do things that I've never seen anybody in the NBA do. So that's another thing about him that's amazing. But, okay, so I just wanted to say that. So when you see how great he is and just how, all right, he's building schools, he's graduating kids, helping sending kids to college, speaking out. I mean, pretty much every black person, even the LeBron haters, which, like I said, there's plenty of black folks, plenty of them who have been LeBron haters for years, okay? Plenty of them. And they all know who they are. But even them, they will say, okay, off the court, he is incredible, all right? People will say that. But when it comes to the basketball, they want to hate him. But there's no way, as a black person, that you can see what LeBron does off the court and not say, yes, what he does off the court is incredible, okay? There's no way. Okay, you would be a complete fool if you did not even just admit that. So, I mean, has a beautiful black wife who he stayed with, married, has a family with, okay? Look at Jordan and Kobe. I mean, I just watched a documentary on Kobe, and we know how, like, him and his parents fell out very early in his career because he married a woman very young in his life, and she was not a black woman, okay? That's what that is. His family did not agree with him marrying her at such a young age, and that was it. Like, he had a rift with his mom and dad, and for pretty much the rest of his life. And look at Michael Jordan. He left his black wife. Look at LeBron, all right? So these are the things that I'm just pointing out. And like I said, it's sad because half of black America has always hated on LeBron. So now I just want to play something really quickly, okay? From Stephen A. Smith, who's someone who, like I said, just got a $100 million contract for 5 years. And he is the biggest sports voice out here. He's even said that he thinks that if he ran for president, he could win, that he could beat Donald Trump, right? He said that, and when you see how Donald Trump could get in office, right, as crazy as it sounds that Stephen A. could win a presidential election, when you see Donald Trump in office, hey, anything is possible, I guess. But this is just how big of a platform he has and how big he's become. And LeBron James is LeBron James, the biggest athlete in the country. So these two, and they're both black guys, right? So, all right, now, you could say that it's sad that these two big figures, black figures, in their fields in sports, one playing, one covering it, they're the two biggest guys, both black, and they have a publicized fallout on the court in front of everybody during the Knicks-Lakers game on Thursday night, right? But, like, now Stephen A. is somebody who, like I said, the first time I ever saw Stephen A., I was in my Norfolk State dorm room, and I saw him. He was a guest on Fox Sports, his Fox Sports show, and they had him on like a basketball insider. And so this is over 20 years ago, and I seen him come on, this young, brash dude. He was giving information on the league, you know, an NBA insider, and he was giving his opinion, and I liked him. He was giving good information, because who does not like a good NBA insider? He was giving good information, and he was telling it like it was, you know what I'm saying? Telling it like it was, and he talked like he talked the way people, friends talk, like how we talk talking to each other on the street, all right, in the dorm room or whatever, just keeping it real. Like, nah, like, I mean, he wasn't afraid to be honest about certain players, how they were playing and all that, And so I had never seen anybody like him before on television. So I was a fan of his from the beginning. And of course, there have been several things that he's done and said over the years that I totally not agree with at all. And so, I mean, like he's completely blown up now to where I said he is. And a lot of things about him, I'm just like, like he's completely off base, a lot of things. But then again, there is nobody who any of us agree with 100% of the time anyway, right? So, but Stephen A is somebody who a lot of people, the thing about Stephen A that is funny, okay, folks, is that it's really hard to find somebody who will tell you that they like Stephen A. Smith, all right? All right? It's hard to find somebody that will actually tell you they like him, but clearly he's got a lot of fans and viewers or whatever because he just got $100 million for 5 years. So people are watching, all right? But a lot of people would like to tell Stephen A. Smith off, including, that half of the NBA players would love to step to Stephen A. and tell him off. Now, the one thing about Stephen A. that has to give him credit for, because a lot of guys you see on TV, on radio, on a podcast, everybody has a podcast now. So there is a lot of people who talk reckless about LeBron, but they're not going to show up to an NBA game and have to see him and be somewhere where he could approach him and get in his face the way he did on Thursday night. And this goes for all the players in the NBA. Stephen A., he says a lot. And, he's somebody, I don't think he's somebody who goes out of his way to get clicks to just say outrageous things about people, but he's just somebody who, like I said, he just brutally honest, about certain things. And a lot of people in the media, they don't go that hard because they don't want to ruffle any feathers. They don't want some of these players to be mad at them. And definitely, if you have to be somewhere where you're covering it and they can see you and they can approach you, some of these guys are going to watch what they say because they don't want the smoke, But that comes with the territory. But there are a lot of guys, like I said, who will mouth off but never step foot in the NBA locker room where these guys could see them, or courtside or where a guy could see him. So give Stephen A. credit for that. He says what he says about LeBron, and then he shows up courtside and LeBron stepped to him. So now I just want to play something because this whole LeBron Stephen A. thing, it happened because LeBron said, you could see when he steps to Stephen A., the video was widely publicized. It was out there. And you could see that LeBron, basically we all know that LeBron was telling Stephen A. to leave his son out of it and keep his son out of his mouth because Stephen A., like all of us, have said that LeBron's son is not ready and good enough to be in the NBA right now, which he's not. So when LeBron stepped to Stephen A. on Thursday night, LeBron said, leave my son out of it. And Stephen A. has said that him and LeBron have had issues for some time now. And, it's because Stephen A. has been critical of LeBron about certain stuff, and LeBron has had issue with it, whatever. But, Stephen A. is a big dude, but no, him and LeBron have not been buddy-buddy at all recently, anytime over the last few years. And that's fine, but, LeBron, like I said, like half of the league, like half of the people who watch Stephen A. on TV would love to step to him and tell him to shut up and, tell him off. A lot of people would. LeBron actually did that. But LeBron getting upset with Stephen A. over his son, I think is something that is wrong because his son is playing now. LeBron and his son knew what would come with his son coming to the Lakers, to the NBA, and playing with him when he's clearly not ready. A lot of people would call that out, clearly. So LeBron cannot be upset about that. But what I don't think LeBron, when he stepped to Stephen A., I don't think that he stepped to him because Stephen A. said that his son is not ready to be in the NBA. I think that there's a long list of things that LeBron James has issue with Stephen A. about, and he just, used the son thing, to give him cover, you know what I'm saying? Because when anybody hears that you are stepping to somebody about their family and their children, people are going to understand it. But I think that there's a long list of things that LeBron has issue with Stephen A. And I'm going to play something for you that is from last week. Okay, this was 6 days before LeBron stepped to Stephen A. And Stephen A. is not talking anything about his son. But this is something right here that I'm going to play is why LeBron stepped to Stephen A. Okay, all right? We're going to play this. And like I said, this show is called LeBron James, the most hated on athlete of all time. Okay? So I'm going to play this really quick from Stephen A., the biggest sports voice, who LeBron stepped to. And then this goes on for a few minutes, okay? So just sit and listen to this, folks, okay? Okay, first time I've ever played just somebody just talking for a few minutes on my show, okay? If it's not me interviewing them, there's nobody talking that's not me for several minutes straight. But I want you all to hear the biggest sports voice, black guy. He's the biggest sports voice, period. Just got a 100 million 5-year contract from ESPN, big time. Getting paid $20 million a year to talk sports, to cover sports. That's big. All right? And he has a big, everybody knows who Stephen A. Smith is, right? So listen to this. We're going to come back and talk, all right? And I'm going to play from how the show first started. And just a quick background is that another player, Anthony Edwards, right, of Minnesota, he told the media, how he did not want to be the face of the league. And so Stephen A. had a problem with that, all right? And Stephen A. had a problem. So then LeBron comes out and says he understands why Anthony Edwards does not want to be the face of the league because it's tough and people try and tear you down, right? And then Stephen A. had a big problem with that, and he just went off on LeBron on his show 6 days before LeBron stepped to Stephen A. and said, leave my son out of it. No. Like I said, when LeBron stepped to Stephen A., his son was just covered. He's got a long list of issues with Stephen A., and this is just a little bit of it. I'm playing for you right now, okay? This is how Stephen A. started off his show February 28th, 2025.
You know something? I was looking forward to today. And you know why I was looking forward to today? Because Steph Curry last night. Did you see that performance? You see those threes? It was 12 of them last night, ladies and gentlemen, in Orlando. The baby-face assassin, the greatest shooter God has ever created, put on an absolute show, 56 points. We were supposed to be celebrating that. That's what we were going to lead the show with.
Until LeBron James opens his mouth and says some stuff that, quite frankly, I didn't like. Oh, I can't wait to start today's show with that. Wendy's in the house, along with a special guest that you're about to see in a second. First Takes in the house. Let's rock.
Loaded show. Happy Friday, everybody. As Stephen A. mentioned, Brian Windhorst here as well, and Gilbert Arenas joining us for the first time. I'll give you a proper hello later, but Gilbert, you can tell SA's all business, so we're going to dive right in. After the Lakers' 9-point win over the Timberwolves in LA last night, where LeBron put up 33, 17, and 6, he addressed the face of the league convo regarding Anthony Edwards taking the torch.
And already said he don't want it. Yeah, I say he ain't trying to deal with that. And, I mean, Channing Frye said it the other day, too, like, I mean, it's unfortunate, but, like, I don't know. Why do you want to be the face of the league when all the people that that cover our game and talk about our game on a day-to-day basis on everybody? You have that responsibility. It's just weird. It's weird energy.
Some people just know they can save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first.
All right.
Like, to check first.
Hold on one second. As we got a little commercial on YouTube. Hold up. As I play. All right, hold up. Here we go.
BS, because I understand there's an enormous amount of pressure that gets elevated, fellas, when it comes to being the face of the league. I understand that, but I don't appreciate what he said. I really, really don't. And listen, let's understand what the backdrop of all of this is. This is fresh off of All-Star Weekend, an All-Star Weekend that LeBron James elected to show up for and not participate in. Don't get me started with his 22 years in the league and how he ruined the slam dunk contest because he's the star. He's the first superstar that played above the rim that decided not to participate in the slam dunk contest. Don't get me started with him showing up at All-Star Weekend on a Sunday afternoon, notifying the NBA an hour beforehand that he wasn't going to play, so they didn't have time to sit up there and get a replacement for him, and then he showed up out there with street clothes on. Don't get me started with all of that. There's an abundance of things that have been going on throughout the career of LeBron James in this league or whatever. I'd like to remind LeBron James, first of all, there's a whole bunch of people that cover the league. They're former players. Oh, yeah, they're former players. They're not just reporters. They're former players, former big-time players, former Hall of Fame players. They talk about the league, too, and it's reminiscent of what I said about Kevin Durant when I talked about, can anybody talk about y'all? Is everything negative? I want to say this, too. There's a narrative that goes around these days, and Wendy, this is out of your lane right here. This is out of your lane right here. Where if you're a brother and you're talking about brothers, oh, you just hate no brothers. You know, it's like black on black crime. Well, if a brother busts your ass, and you happen to be a brother that got your ass busted, then how is it that you're praising the brother that gave it to you, and you're highlighting the brother that got it given to him? That's what you're doing. But people don't bring this kind of stuff up. There's so much stuff that you can point to when you look at LeBron James. You can point to the decision, okay? Self-aggrandizement at its height. What happened there? He has a 75-minute show, The Decision, to announce and surprise the owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers that I'm leaving you. He had to find out on national television with the rest of America. What did I say after that, Wendy? If you remember, Gilbert, what did I say after that? I talked about how you handle stuff matters because the owners are going to come. What did they do? They came with a collective bargaining negotiation. They stripped basketball-related income by 7%, costing the league about $2 billion, okay? They pointed that stuff out. You had a Chris Paul trade that was going to Los Angeles for the Lakers. Dan Gilbert is the owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers and rallied the owners to go against the trade, so Commissioner David Stern nixed it. Why? Because he was salty about how LeBron James handled it and how stars were getting out of control. What are we seeing over the last several years? No matter what, we sit up there and it doesn't matter. We can sit up there and say something that smells like perfume. They'll accuse us of saying it's passing gas. No matter what we say about these players, there's always something for them to complain about. And I'm not saying that there aren't justifiable situations where you are playing, you should be able to clap back. But everything, he talked about inside the NBA. He didn't say their names. We know who you alluded to. Charles Barkley is an all-time NBA great. Top 75 player, Hall of Famer. You get at him. Kenny Smith, who celebrates the game more than Kenny Smith. Shaquille O'Neal's a 4-time champion. The Diesel, the Big Aristotle, and whatever name he came up with, assisting in marketing and elevating the brand that ultimately helped you generate an 11-year, $77 billion deal. And by the way, LeBron James had a lot to do with helping the NBA brand grow as well. We ain't trying to take that away from him. But to sit up there and say, you know what, why would you want to be the face of the league when everybody's talking bleep about you all the damn time? I'm sick and tired of them acting like everybody's talking bleep about them all the damn time. I don't know if you know this, Gilbert. LeBron James is hating on him to say that he's the second greatest player in the history of the sport. I don't know if you knew that. I don't know if you knew that when you say good father, great husband, great philanthropist, great businessman, great actor, great director, great entrepreneur, great host, great everything. I don't know if you know that because you didn't say he's number one, that he's the GOAT, that's an insult to him and his crew. I don't know if you knew that, Gilbert, but this is the kind of stuff that we're dealing with. So it's just utterly ridiculous. I'm going to let y'all chime in here because I got more to say.
But it's just when he said that, it really ticked me off because, again, it's pointing the finger and it's negating to point out. There are people here celebrating the game. Any way in which the game has been hurt has not been hurt by the media. And by the way, in today's generation, these dudes think the media is social media. They lump us all in with the same. There's people that don't cover the league. They ain't never covered the league. Ain't never been in a locker room. Ain't never been in a press box or anything. But because they on social media chirping, we get lumped in with them. We don't get into their personal business. Stay out of the police blotters and the whole bit. Do your thing. Go out there and play. We covering the game. It's never enough. And he's not bringing that up. Again, I got more to say, but I'll stop there for now, and I'll give y'all the floor.
Mr. Arenas.
Was he wrong?
He was wrong. He was wrong about some things, yes.
See, I'm from the era where when you introduced a superstar or the stars of the league, it was all positive. I'm 42, right? When you think about 92 Olympics, when you think about the 92 Olympics, you think about fine wine. It's like the 92.
Okay.
When you think about the 2024 Olympics, it's like mums, right? It makes your stomach hurt. That's how it's been pushed to us. So,
All right, folks. So, and I just played the opening of what Gilbert Arenas had to say, a former NBA player who played in LeBron's era. LeBron has played through, it seems like, several eras because Gilbert Arenas was a part of LeBron's early era, and LeBron, Gilbert, like many players who were playing at that time in the, what do they call it, the aughts, like 07, 06, 07, 08, 09, 10. Most of the players from that time are out of the league, but LeBron is, of course, still going strong. He got hurt last night, by the way, but that's another story. Get to that later. And Gilbert Arenas is somebody who has had more than one playoff battle against LeBron James, and there were better series. And Gilbert Arenas, you saw how he began. He was trying to defend LeBron or what have you. And but one thing that he said that I don't agree with, I just wanted to say, I don't agree with, around this. I don't agree with the players from back in the day that they weren't criticized. They were criticized because Gilbert said that the players in Jordan's era, what have you, everything was always positive from a media perspective or what have you. That's not true, so I don't agree with that. But when it comes to Michael Jordan, I agree that everyone, when Jordan was playing with the Bulls, everyone wanted Michael Jordan to win. Not me. I was a Knicks fan growing up in New York City and saw Michael Jordan beat my team every time. But everyone else in the country, what have you, even a lot of people in New York, a lot of New Yorkers who claim to be Knicks fans, who are big Michael Jordan fans, what have you. But everyone else, except for the diehard Knicks fans, or if you were a diehard fan of some other team, but everybody else was rooting for Jordan. Like, unless Michael Jordan pretty much was not playing against your team, everybody was rooting for Jordan to win. In the playoffs, in the finals, that's what I remember it being. Everyone was Michael Jordan fans. You see, today, he has not played in his prime in 30 years. And you see today how many people love Michael Jordan still. So, but with LeBron James, when LeBron James came along, it was the complete opposite. Like, everyone, when LeBron James got to the playoffs, when LeBron James got to the finals, everyone was rooting against him. And this is another example, but a key example when I say that LeBron is the most hated-on athlete of all time. Because, right? And the reason why everybody was rooting against LeBron and wanted to see him lose was because they were all Michael Jordan fans. And like I said, they all believed Jordan at the best of all time. So they were always threatened by LeBron's greatness. Now, Stephen A. Smith, you heard Stephen A. Smith say all that off of some comments because LeBron James said that he understands why Anthony Edwards does not want to be the face of the NBA, right? And Stephen A. just went off on a whole, diatribe, right? So now there's just some, so that And you should have heard what Stephen A. had to say the week prior after the All-Star game when LeBron decided not to play in the All-Star game. And I saw a lot of people, because I wanted to talk after that about how LeBron is so hated on. All right, people just hate on LeBron James. I mean, for no reason. I mean, people who have sense and who are smart hate on LeBron James. I mean, when it comes to LeBron James, it's just all reason just goes out the window. All intelligence just goes out the window, okay? Because I saw somebody who I respect a great deal, all right? He's amazing on what he does, okay? And he's up here during All-Star Weekend when LeBron James decided to not play in the game. And half of the sports fans lost their minds and attacked LeBron James, attacked him, because in year 22, he decided that, you know what, at the last minute, I'm not going to play in the game. So people found reason to be upset about him over that. And people were saying, oh, well, if he knew he was not going to play, he could have let the league know sooner, so they could have gotten somebody else who did not make the All-Star team. They could have got somebody else and given somebody else a chance and made them an All-Star. Okay, that would have been nice. That would have been cute. But you know what? The fans and coaches, they voted for the All-Stars, and the guys that did not make it, they did not make it. LeBron, of course, deserved to be in the game, but not just that. LeBron James, before he decided to not play in the All-Star game a couple of weeks ago, LeBron had played, not only made 20 straight All-Star games, so made the All-Star team 20 straight years, but he started in each one. So not only was he great enough to get the nod to start in 20 straight All-Star games, but he was healthy enough, physically able to play in each one for 20 straight seasons. Because at some point, you look at everybody's career, these All-Stars, even the guys who are perennial All-Stars, make the All-Star team every season, all of them pretty much at some point, at least 1 year in their career, they made the All-Star team and could not play in the game because they were hurt. Or they did not make the All-Star team that year because they were hurt. Not LeBron. So he decides now, after his 21st straight year of making the All-Star team and starting in the All-Star game, being named to start, you know, in his 21st year of this being the case, 21st straight year of this being the case, he decides, I'm going to take it easy because we know that no one cares about the All-Star game anymore. I mean, this is the other thing that is so ridiculous. You got people who are upset or act like they're upset that LeBron did not play in the game, and they don't even care about the All-Star game. I mean, no one cares about the All-Star game anymore in any league, okay? And the actual game, no one cares. No one watches because, excuse me, it's become, yes, it's an exhibition, first of all, and this NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball is high-stake business. These guys are getting paid lots of money for their team to play well and win games for their team. That's paying them millions of dollars to do that. When they go to the All-Star game, their team is not paying them to go play in that exhibition game. Their team will not even care if they were in the game. Most of these teams, the people who are paying them, don't even want them to play in the game, and most of the fan bases feel the same way because they don't want their player to get hurt. All right, that's a risk that these teams, a lot of owners and general managers and fans don't want to risk. They don't want to see their players going hard. So it's like, for as much as the NBA, because the NBA players got attacked during the All-Star break, all right? And it was unwarranted, but there's a sentiment that NBA players don't play hard during the All-Star game, right? But at the same time, you have owners and general managers and fans who don't want the players to play hard at the All-Star game because they don't want them to take a chance of getting hurt, okay? So, like, the public can't have it both ways. The public, guys like Stephen A. and other media members and, and fans who want to quote-unquote try and act like they're mad at LeBron because he didn't play in a meaningless exhibition All-Star game. They can't, say that. But then when, it comes to what's really important, the actual winning in playoffs, all right, you can't act like that's, you can't take umbrage with somebody for now playing the exhibition game when what's really important is the team winning and trying to win a championship, which is what LeBron did as we hit 12 o'clock here at WACR 90.3 FM. This is WACR Sports. I'm Samori Benjamin. Yeah, so, like I said, if you have, fans who, okay, I don't want my player playing hard in the All-Star game because I don't want them to get hurt, and then you can't be mad when they're not taking the All-Star game seriously. And that's what it was for years with the NBA All-Star game. And, I'm a basketball fan, NBA fan. I want to see the players play hard during the All-Star game, but we all get it. Like I just said, they're getting paid big money from teams to play. They ain't trying to get hurt. That's the biggest reason why these guys don't play hard during the All-Star game. But this past year, they actually did play hard, but no one paid attention or cared because they were so dead set on just ripping NBA players and LeBron James, right? So this is the point though. But like in every league we have, the NFL got rid of the All-Star game because the players stopped playing hard. Why? Of course, they don't want to get hurt in a meaningless game. So the NFL, after a few years, like once they were playing the game and had guys in pads and guys, it's really ridiculous when you see no defense being played in a football game where you have guys just who are out there just running around, not trying to hit, all right? So they had to get rid of the NFL All-Star game. Like, they just completely got rid of that, all right? The NBA, they still trying to have it. But we all understand, even Major League Baseball, all right, the best players, sometimes they show up, sometimes they don't. We don't hear a whole bunch of people going off